So the Tibetans said the triumph in Scorpio comes through humility and through the use of the mind. To overcome a problem, you've probably always heard, we can't overcome a problem on the plane that it exists. So we can't overcome emotional issues on the emotional plane. We have to lift it to a higher level. So that's why I think discrimination, using the mind, he figured it out. He somehow figured out that if he knelt down and lifted this hydra up into the light of the soul, that the soul would take care of the problem, not his personality. And so that's what he did. He lifted the hydra, seething, fuming, into the light of his soul, and it died. So that tells us the power of the mind to lift. You know, when I spoke about that alignment exercise, what meditation is doing, it's lifting the energies. So as we lift the energies into the mind, and then into the soul, the personality begins to die. We're not talking about an actual death of the personality. We're talking about a death of the hindrances that block us. And there are many. If you study that later, you'll see there are many hindrances on the path. And just like Hercules, every time you think you've overcome one of them, two more sprout out. So don't ever get too full of pride about your achievements on the path, because you'll soon be caught up probably in some new challenge that's going to come along. So we could take a moment now if anyone has any questions or about anything that's been said, any thoughts that they want to share about their own practice. Hi.
Yeah, we spoke about the full moon.
Yes.
Is there anything you can say about new moon?
Yeah. Not a lot, but the full moon and the new moon are the high points of the spiritual month. Just like there are high points in the day, in the daily practice, the morning meditation, the noontime recollection, and the 5 o'clock link-up. Those are power points in the daily cycle. So too are there power points in the monthly cycle, and those are the new moon and the full moon. The full moon and the new moon are really 5-day period. The actual day of the new moon or the full moon is the day of safeguarding. And then the 2 days prior to the full moon or the new moon are preparation for that PowerPoint day of the actual event. And then the 2 days following the actual day are distributing the energies, the time when we distribute the energies. So it's a 5-day cycle, twice a month, and we're entering into the new moon period now. The new moon is actually on Saturday, so we're well within the orb of that. And many people think of the new moon as a time of actualizing the energies. The full moon is a time of inspiration, and the new moon is a time when you work out that inspiration in the world by taking action, concrete action. So that's my understanding of it. Do you have any thoughts about the new moon session?
New moon is a good time for meditation when you link up with all people who meditate on the same path, to link up with all people of goodwill and distribute the energy that you got during the full moon meditation, not just yourself, but visualizing your link with all those people. Yeah. And distributing that energy to the world.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's one of the meditations offered by Tibetan.
Yeah, that's really at the time of the new moon we focus more on the world and part of that green spirituality, that I mentioned before, that so many different spiritual groups are partaking in these days. That's when we try and focus on that.
Is that from Patanjali, or is that
the new moon meditation?
No, I mean this whole...
No, that's not really contained in his teaching. That's more in the Alice Bailey teachings.
Oh, I see.
So full moon is more powerful than
The new moon is powerful. We're told that within that center, called the hierarchy, where the masters of the wisdom live and move and have their being, in that center we're told that all of the hierarchy meditates actively at the full moon and the new moon. They hold those power points as very important in their work. And I think they do strive to work with humanity at those points.
I just want to say that people frequently observe the new moon opportunities following the actual event, whereas for the full moon, they precede
Yes.
the moment of the full moon
Yeah.
within a certain time span, accessing the building energies.
Yes.
So there's a whole, like maybe in the East, when the crescent first appears following the new moon, that's when they do whatever ceremony.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So there's that sequence that many people observe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And new moons, we frequently hear that it's a time for setting intention or
Yes.
planting seeds
Yeah.
or something
Were you
like
going to
that.
start a new project?
Yeah. And in the annual cycle, we have a similar idea put forward in the teaching that this period right now that we're in is the high point of the spiritual year. The Aries full moon, the Taurus full moon, and the Gemini full moon is the highlight, the high point of the spiritual year. And we're told that great inspiration flows into humanity during this time. And this year we're given an extra boost because there are 2 Taurus full moons this year. And the Taurus full moon is said to be the high point. So I think this year, the cycle, since it's extended by 1 full month extra, is particularly auspicious and powerful. So the energies that we're all going to be going through during this period, through the Gemini full moon, is going to be very powerful. There's a lot of energy that's being released on the planet with that entire extra month. And so we should, if we want to, link up during these full moon periods. You know, we're reaching in 2 weeks' time into the high point, the Taurus full moon. But then there's another Taurus full moon 4 weeks later. So this period between the Taurus, and Gemini full moons is extremely powerful. And it's a great opportunity for all of us. We're told, if we want to believe it, that on the inner planes, there's a great ingathering of teachers that extends to include the physical plane.